The galaxy believed the war was over. For 3 long years, humans in the Zarkonian Empire had fought across stars, planets, and dark space. Cities were burned. Ships were destroyed. Millions were lost. At first, humans fought bravely. They sent their best soldiers. They used their strongest weapons. They never gave up easily. But slowly, things changed. One by one, human fleets began to disappear. Not in battle. Not in explosions. They simply left. From distant space stations, alien commanders watched in surprise. Human ships turned around. Engines burned bright. And then they jumped into hyperspace. Gone. General Korthak, leader of the Zarkonian forces, laughed. "They are afraid," he said. "They are running." His officers agreed. "No species can fight us forever." One said, "Humans are finally broken." Across the galaxy, the same story spread. Humans are retreating. Humans are losing. Humans are finished. On Earth, panic filled the streets. People watched the sky every night. They waited for alien ships. They waited for death. But instead, they saw something strange. Human warships were leaving Earth. Huge carriers, defense cruisers, battle stations. One by one, they rose into space and disappeared. Many civilians cried, "They abandoned us!" A woman whispered. "They gave up," a man said. News channels showed empty military bases, closed factories, silent airports. It looked like the end. But inside a hidden underground bunker, deep beneath the mountains, the truth was very different. Commander Elias Carter stood in front of a large hologram map. Stars glowed in blue. Enemy zones glowed in red. His face was tired. His eyes were sharp. Around him stood scientists, generals, and engineers. No one was smiling, but no one was afraid. Carter spoke calmly. "Phase 1 is complete," he said. A young officer asked, "Sir, are they buying it?" Carter nodded. "They think we are weak. They think we ran." He paused. "That is exactly what we want." Far away, on the alien flagship Dark Crown, General Korthak enjoyed his victory. The ship was massive. It was longer than most cities, covered in black armor, powered by dark energy. Inside his command hall, holographic screens showed conquered planets. Earth was marked in yellow. "Almost ours," Korthak said proudly. He turned to his advisors. Humans were loud. They were emotional. They fought hard. He smiled. But in the end, they broke. His second-in-command, Vrex, nodded. "Our scanners show fewer human signals every day," Vrex said. "They're retreating deeper into space." "Good," Korthak replied. "Let them hide." Back on Earth, something unusual was happening. In small towns, far from big cities, buses arrived at night. No lights, no sounds. Families were quietly taken away. Engineers, doctors, programmers, students, all were moved to secret locations. No one knew where. In space, human satellites that were thought to be dead suddenly came back online. Old machines, 10 years old, almost forgotten. But now they were active. They sent silent signals. Not to Earth, not to Mars, but to deep space. In a hidden asteroid base, Dr. Lena Morgan worked without sleep. Her hair was messy. Her eyes were red. In front of her floated a small glowing cube. It was a prototype weapon core. "This has to work," she whispered. Lena looked up. "They never stopped," she said. "They are just waiting." Suddenly, alarms rang. Not loud, not dangerous, just a soft warning tone. Lena checked her screen. A message appeared. Phase 2 preparation. 68% complete. She smiled for the first time in weeks. Meanwhile, General Korthak ordered his fleets forward. "Begin occupation of Earth," he said. Thousands of alien ships moved. Like a dark cloud, they entered Earth's orbit. But something strange happened. There was no resistance, no missiles, no fighters, no defense lasers. Nothing. Human cities were silent. Power grids were off. Lights were gone. It looked like a dead planet. "This is too easy," Vrex said. Korthak waved his hand. "Fear makes enemies disappear," he replied. Alien troops landed in major cities. They walked through empty streets, broken windows, abandoned cars, silent homes. It felt wrong. On the flagship, sensors suddenly picked up weak signals. Sir, an officer said, "We are detecting low-energy transmissions." From where? Korthak asked. From everywhere, the officer replied. Space, asteroids, old satellites, even abandoned stations. Korthak frowned, analyzed them. Minutes passed, then hours. The data made no sense. The signals were small. A technician beside her asked, "Do you think they will attack again?" Broken, random, or so it seemed. Back in a hidden bunker, Commander Carter watched the same data. "Link them," he ordered. Computers worked fast. Lines connected. Patterns formed. A giant invisible web appeared on the screen. A galaxy-wide network. Carter smiled slightly. "They walked right into it," he said. A general asked, "Sir, are we ready?" "Almost," Carter replied. "Let them feel safe first." On Earth, an alien patrol entered an old human library. Dust filled the air. Books lay everywhere. One soldier kicked a book aside. It opened. Inside was a hidden device. A small blinking light. The soldier froze. "Commander," he said nervously. Too late. The device activated. Not an explosion. Not fire. A silent pulse. Across the city, similar devices woke up. Under roads. Inside walls. Below rivers. Sleeper machines opened their eyes. In space, alien ships began to experience problems. Small ones at first. Navigation errors. Power drops. Sensor glitches. Rex rushed to Korthak. "Sir, systems are acting strange." Korthak growled. "Fix it." But it got worse. Ships lost contact. Drones crashed. Communication failed. Then a message appeared on every alien screen. It was simple. White text. Black background. "This is not a retreat. This is a reset." Korthak stared at it. "What is this?" he whispered. Back in the bunker, Carter watched the same message. He nodded. "Begin phase 2, he said. All across hidden human bases. Lights turned on. Machines started. Engines warmed. Soldiers stood up. Weapons unlocked. On distant moons, secret shipyards opened their doors. Inside were ships no one had ever seen before. Smooth. Silver. Silent. In Dr. Lena Morgan's lab, the glowing cube pulsed with power. "Energy stable," she reported. "Weapon core ready." Carter replied through the channel. "Good work, Doctor." Then he looked at the stars. "For 3 years," he said quietly, "they thought we were weak." He clenched his fist. They were wrong. Far away, General Korthak felt something he had never felt before. Fear. His empire systems were failing. His soldiers were confused. His victory was turning into chaos. He whispered to himself. Humans did not run. They prepared. And somewhere in deep space, hidden fleets began to move. Slowly, silently, toward Earth, toward war, toward revenge. The unexpected turning point had begun. The galaxy celebrated the death of humanity. On every occupied planet, alien flags waved. Cities were claimed. Resources were taken. The Zarkonian Empire had declared victory. Inside the towering control room of the flagship Dark Crown, General Korthak looked at the holographic map of the occupied worlds. "Look at this," he said proudly, pointing at Earth. "All of their defenses are gone. Their leaders missing. Their fleets destroyed or gone." The room filled with alien officers' laughter. "They ran," said Rex, his second in command. "They were too weak to fight." Korthak nodded, satisfied. "Yes, fear has its power. It ends wars without a fight." But not everyone was so sure. Among Korthak's advisors, a quiet strategist named Zaylor frowned. "Sir, I have analyzed human signals," he said softly. "They are scattered, low, but unusual. There's a pattern." "Pattern?" Korthak snapped. "They are gone. Nothing can resist us. Do you question my command?" Zaylor hesitated. "No, sir, but the pattern repeats. Almost like signals being prepared. for something. Korthak waved him off. Humans? Preparing? Nonsense. They only retreat when they are afraid. We will occupy, we will control, we will finish them. That night, the dark crown orbited over Earth. Below, human cities lay empty. Skies were dark. Streets were quiet. No ships, no soldiers, no resistance. Aliens landed their troops and moved through the streets. Every human structure seemed abandoned. Houses were broken. Windows shattered. Cars left on roads. The aliens called it easy victory. But the humans were watching. In a hidden canyon hundreds of miles away, a human scout team observed alien troops through binoculars. Their leader, Lieutenant Mara Green, whispered, "They think it's over, they think we fled, but they have no idea what's coming." Behind them, engineers worked to finish building a massive communications array. Soldiers sharpened their weapons. Even civilians who were evacuated trained in small squads. Every human on that base knew their mission: wait, watch, and strike. Meanwhile, in orbit, alien ships began experiencing strange anomalies. Sensors malfunctioned. Power systems faltered. Drones stopped responding mid-flight. Vrex reported urgently to Korthak, "Sir, the ships, they're failing. Systems are breaking down for no reason." Korthak frowned. "Impossible. How can this be? Our machines are perfect." From the shadows of the flagship, Zaylor observed silently. "Sir," he said softly, "humans, they're not done. They never were." Korthak laughed nervously. "Do not spread fear. They cannot match us. They have no fleets, no weapons, no command." But doubt had already crept in. On Earth, deep underground, Commander Elias Carter walked through a massive war room. The walls were lined with screens, maps of space, enemy positions, hidden stations. "Report," he said to his aides. "All bases are ready," a young officer replied. "All fleets are hidden. Weapons primed. Satellites back online. Humans are ready to strike." Carter nodded slowly. "Good. Let them think it's over. Let them enjoy their victory." He turned toward a large map, showing the galaxy's occupied planets. "Their arrogance will be their downfall," he whispered. Back in the alien control room, Korthak's pride blinded him. "We have already won," he declared. "Earth is ours. Humanity is broken. There is nothing left to fear." The alien fleet spread across the globe. Major cities were claimed. Alien troops patrolled the streets. But small pockets of humans remained hidden. In the forests, mountains, and deserts, humans watched silently. Every alien movement was recorded. Every weapon analyzed. Every mistake noted. And humans had learned. The first human mistake had been obvious, underestimating them. But the second mistake? Overconfidence. Humans use the aliens' confidence against them. In secret laboratories, scientists like Dr. Lena Morgan activated machines that had been dormant for years. Weapons designed in the past were rebuilt. Missiles were upgraded. Drones were programmed with artificial intelligence beyond alien expectations. Even old satellites were repurposed. Humans had waited. They had studied. They had prepared. And now, the moment was near. Far above the planet, alien ships began to notice subtle changes. "Sir, energy readings from Earth are increasing," Rex reported. "They are unusual. We cannot identify the source." Korthak's face darkened. "Explain it," he ordered. "They appear to be activating some kind of network all over the planet. Hidden devices, unknown signals. Our systems are affected." Korthak's pride faltered. "Impossible. They should not have any power left." Zaylor spoke quietly. "Sir, perhaps you underestimated their resilience." Korthak slammed his fist. "Resilience? Nonsense. We control everything. They are weak. They are nothing." But the first warning came soon after. One of the alien outposts lost communication. No messages. No signals. Then another. And another. Alien ships in orbit reported glitches in navigation. Missiles misfired. Drones crashed. Panic began to spread quietly among the lower officers. Korthak tried to hide it, but the fear was growing. Back underground, humans watched every move. Lieutenant Mara Green smiled. "They're falling for it," she said. "They think we are gone. They think it's easy. But we've waited for this. In hidden factories, humans worked on advanced weapons. New fighters were rolled out. Massive fleets were completed silently. Every ship hidden beneath asteroids, forests, and oceans. And then the humans made their move. It started with small strikes. Drones sabotaged alien systems. Missiles targeted supply stations. Communication arrays in orbit went dark. Alien officers scrambled. No one told us this would happen. Rex shouted. Korthak's pride had blinded him. He had laughed at humanity's retreat. He had celebrated. He had assumed victory. Now, chaos erupted in his empire. Ships collided. Satellites exploded. Weapons backfired. From the shadows, humans observed and struck again. Carter watched the screens. Phase 2 has begun, he said. It was not just a battle. It was a lesson. The humans had waited. They had studied, and they had returned stronger. Korthak finally realized his first mistake. I assumed retreat means fear. I assumed weakness. I assumed humans would surrender. But humans had done something far smarter. They had used a retreat to rebuild, to train, to prepare for a war that no alien had expected. The galaxy, for the first time, watched in disbelief. Earth, the planet they thought was lost, was now the center of a secret human armada, and the aliens had no idea what was coming next. Even Zaylor, the quiet strategist, admitted they are brilliant. They never surrendered. They only waited for this moment. The mistake of the victors was clear. They had celebrated too soon. They had ignored warning signs. They had underestimated the humans. And that mistake would cost them dearly. Far below the surface, Commander Carter stood. He looked at his fleet, ready to launch. He looked at the soldiers, weapons, and machines waiting for their signal. He whispered to himself, "Let them enjoy their victory a little longer. It will make their fall even sweeter." And somewhere, deep in the heart of the alien empire, General Korthak felt a chill. Something he had never felt before. Fear. For the first time, he realized humans are not weak. Humans do not surrender. Humans never run. They only prepare. And when humans prepare, the galaxy has no defense. The unexpected turning point had become real, and the war was about to begin again. The galaxy believed humanity was defeated. The Zarkonian Empire had taken every major city. Their ships controlled every orbit. Their soldiers walked through empty streets without resistance. Every alien general thought, humans are finished. They ran. They gave up. But no one had seen the truth. Deep underground, far below the mountains of Earth, humanity was alive. Hidden bunkers stretched for miles. Hidden fleets were being built inside massive caverns. Machines hummed. Engines roared quietly, unheard by the aliens above. Commander Elias Carter walked through the Central Command hub. Every screen in front of him showed a part of the galaxy. Alien fleets. Alien systems. Hidden human stations. "Report," he said. Lieutenant Mara Green stepped forward. "All weapons are ready. All soldiers are trained. All fleets are hidden and prepare to launch on your command." Carter nodded. "Good. Humans thought retreat would save us. They thought they would destroy us. They were wrong. We never left. We only prepared." Across the secret bases, humans worked silently but intensely. Engineers were building new ships never seen before. Weapons were upgraded with plasma cores and magnetic accelerators. Drones were programmed with artificial intelligence capable of predicting alien moves. Satellites that had been inactive for years were repurposed as sensors and communication hubs. In one hidden lab, Dr. Lena Morgan activated a massive cube of glowing energy. "This is a core," she said. "This weapon can disrupt their ships, their shields, and even their AI. It can make their empire crumble without a single human soldier dying in space." Her assistant, a young engineer, looked amazed. "But there are millions of ships. How can this work?" Lena smiled. "They underestimate humans. And that is exactly what we need." Meanwhile, in the forest and desert of Earth, humans trained in small squads. Soldiers ran through simulations. Pilots practiced evasive maneuvers. Scientists tested weapons in hidden chambers. Even children were being trained in observation and strategy. Every human knew their role. Every human knew the risk. Above, alien sensors scanned Earth. "They are gone," Korthak said proudly. "They left. Nothing remains." But small glitches appeared in alien readings. A drone malfunctioned in orbit. A satellite signal returned briefly. A sensor showed strange energy spikes. Rex reported nervously, "Sir, there are anomalies. We cannot explain them." Korthak waved him off. "They are ghosts. Nothing more. Humanity is dead." Far away, in a hidden asteroid base, another secret was unfolding. Human engineers were building cloaked ships. Inside these ships, advanced weapon systems waited silently. Energy shields glimmered faintly, invisible to alien scanners. Commander Carter inspected the first fleet ready for launch. "These ships are faster than anything they know," he said. "They can move through asteroid fields, through planetary rings, without being detected. They are our edge." A young pilot, Alex Reyes, stepped forward. "Commander, when do we move?" Carter looked at him. "Not yet. They must believe we are gone. They must celebrate their victory. Then we strike." In another hidden lab, Dr. Morgan activated a device she had been building for years. It looked like a small black cube, but inside, it contained a network of nanobots capable of infiltrating alien ships, their weapons, and their shields. "These nanobots can disable their entire fleet silently," she said. "One pulse, and their empire will be in chaos." A technician asked nervously, "And if it fails?" Lena shook her head. "It will not fail. We are humans. We always adapt." Back in the alien-occupied cities, General Korthak celebrated. "Earth is ours," he shouted. "Prepare for the final conquest. Our victory will be remembered for 1,000 years." But the first sign of trouble appeared quietly. Alien supply ships vanished without a trace. Satellites lost communication. Patrol drones crashed mysteriously. Korthak frowned. "Investigate," he ordered. But even as they searched, humans watched. Every move the aliens made was tracked. Every weakness was noted. Every glitch was analyzed. Carter observed quietly in the command hub. "They believe they control everything," he said. "But their arrogance is their weakness. Their overconfidence will destroy them." In the shadows, Lieutenant Mara Green activated a hidden satellite. It sent signals into the deep space network. Alien communication arrays began to fail silently. Alien ships' navigation systems started to drift, and the humans didn't even fire a shot. Carter smiled. "They are panicking, and they don't even know why yet." Meanwhile, deep underground, human soldiers trained for the final battle. They practiced stealth operations. They rehearsed planetary strikes. They tested sabotage techniques. Even the civilians who had been evacuated joined in, learning skills, running drills, and helping engineers. Humans were no longer just defending. They were preparing to turn the tables. On a distant moon, the first cloaked human ships were ready. They waited silently, in orbit, engines off, shields hidden. Carter issued the first command. "Stand by. Wait for the signal." Then, unexpectedly, alien forces made their first mistake. Believing humans were still weak, they lowered their guard. Patrols were reduced. Systems were left online, without proper checks. Officers celebrated prematurely, and humans watched silently. Lena Morgan activated the nanobot network. The cubes pulsed softly. A wave of invisible agents spread through alien systems. Drones began to malfunction. Ships drifted off course. Communication arrays failed. In one command room, an alien officer screamed as the system shut down. Rex tried to respond, but his voice faltered. Korthak shouted orders, but no one could hear him. For the first time, fear appeared in the eyes of the Zarkonian leaders. They are here," Zaylor said quietly. "Humans, they never left. They prepared in the dark." Carter gave the order. Phase 3 begins. Strike when ready. From hidden bases, human fleets launched silently. Ships moved faster than expected. Cloaking technology made them invisible. Weapons targeted supply lines, command centers, and fleet formations. Alien ships tried to respond, but their systems were already compromised. The galaxy watched in shock as the defeated humans revealed their hidden strength. In the midst of chaos, Carter spoke to his team. This is only the beginning. They underestimated us. They thought retreat was weakness. It was our strategy, our preparation. And now we strike. Meanwhile, in one of the occupied cities, Mara Green led a team to sabotage alien ground systems. Tanks were disabled, turrets destroyed, alien troops trapped in their own bunkers. Humans had turned the cities into traps, silent and deadly. Carter watched the progress in real time. Everything is going according to plan, he said calmly. Even Korthak began to realize his first mistake. Retreat does not mean fear. Retreat is preparation. Retreat is strategy. But it was too late. The humans had been preparing in the dark for years. Hidden fleets, advanced weapons, nanobots, cloaked ships, trained soldiers. The galaxy had believed humans were weak. The galaxy had celebrated their defeat, and that celebration would be their downfall. Carter looked at the stars and whispered, "They laugh when we disappeared. They will scream when we return." And somewhere, deep in the Zarkonian Empire, a chill ran down Korthak's spine. For the first time, he realized humans never surrender. Humans never run. Humans only wait. And what humans were doing in the dark was far more dangerous than any alien had imagined. The war was about to enter a new, terrifying phase. The galaxy had celebrated human defeat. For 3 long years, the Zarkonian Empire believed they had conquered Earth. They believed humanity had vanished into the shadows. They believed humans were broken. They were wrong. Deep underground, in hidden bunkers, humans prepared for the moment they had waited for. Commander Elias Carter stood in front of a massive holographic map. "Today," he said, his voice steady, "we remind the galaxy who we are." Around him, pilots, soldiers, engineers, and scientists nodded silently. No cheers, no celebrations, only focus, only determination. The hidden human fleet had grown in secret. Cloaked ships filled asteroid hangars. Plasma cannons glimmered quietly. Nanobot cores pulsed softly. On the surface, cities had been rebuilt in secret. Weapons, traps, and hidden bunkers covered the planet like a spiderweb. And in orbit, the first human ships moved. Carter watched their positions on the screen. "Deploy the cloak fleet," he ordered. "Begin Phase 4. Strike silently. Hit first. Hit hard." Far above Earth, alien satellites detected strange signals. "Sir, energy reading fluctuations," Rex said nervously. "They are activating something. We cannot trace it fully." Korthak laughed at first. "They are ghosts. Nothing more. Just faint signals. Celebrate. Victory is ours." But then the first attack came. Not loud, not visible, but deadly. Nanobots infiltrated alien ships. They scrambled systems silently. Engines failed mid-flight. Weapons misfired. Drones crashed into each other. Panic spread across the alien fleet. Officers shouted. Ships collided. Missiles exploded before they reached their targets. Rex screamed. They're attacking, but they are nowhere to be seen." Korthak's eyes widened. "What is happening?" Zaylor spoke quietly. "They were preparing in the dark. We underestimated them." But Korthak refused to believe it. He ordered his fleets to regroup to counterattack. But human drones and cloaked ships struck faster than expected. Supply ships were destroyed silently. Command satellites were hacked. Alien AI systems were corrupted. The humans had waited. They had prepared. They had studied every alien tactic. And now, they unleashed chaos. On the ground, Mara Green led squads in the cities. Alien patrols vanished in seconds. Tanks were disabled by electromagnetic pulses. Turrets exploded from inside. Humans moved like shadows. Silent, deadly, precise. In orbit, Alex Reyes piloted the lead ship of a cloaked squadron. Ships darted between asteroids and planetary rings. Alien cruisers fired blindly, missing every target. Plasma cannons struck supply lines, turning them into flaming wrecks. "Keep moving." Carter's voice rang over the comms. "Do not give them a chance to recover." Meanwhile, Dr. Lena Morgan activated the nanobot core in the hidden lab. A wave of invisible agents spread silently through alien systems. Sensors failed. Weapons shut down. Shields flickered. Every alien ship in the sector experienced sudden glitches. Some drifted into each other. Some exploded quietly. Some lost contact entirely. Counterattack slammed his fist against a console. "Impossible," he shouted. "They cannot have rebuilt. We control everything." But the humans had always been 3 steps ahead. Hidden satellite networks guided human ships. Secret energy grids powered cloaked weapons. Nanobots disabled enemy shields before they could react. The galaxy watched in disbelief. The so-called defeated humans were not only fighting back, they were winning. On the flagship Dark Crown, chaos erupted. Drones collided inside the hangars. Communication networks were offline. Officers ran in panic, unsure what to do. Zaylor whispered to Counterattack. This is what they were doing all along. They never surrendered. They were preparing for this moment. Counterattack growled. They cannot defeat us. This is impossible. But everywhere he looked, human ships moved like ghosts. Cloaked fighters appeared behind cruisers. Missiles struck supply depots without warning. Nanobot swarms infiltrated main weapon systems. The aliens were trapped. Their empire was crumbling silently. Their pride, once unshakable, began to falter. On Earth, Mara Green smiled as she watched the alien ground forces falter. Alien patrols were confused. Commanders could not give orders. Soldiers panicked. "Phase 4 is working," she whispered. They never expected this. In a hidden asteroid hangar, Carter watched the final preparations. Cloaked capital ships were ready to strike the alien command fleet. Weapons were charged to full power. Every human fleet moved in perfect coordination. He looked at the stars and whispered, "They laughed when we disappeared. They will scream when we return." Suddenly, the first major alien cruiser exploded in orbit. A small human squadron had struck it from a blind spot. The explosion was massive, sending debris flying into nearby ships. Chaos spread instantly. Rex screamed in terror. "They are everywhere. How can this be?" Counterattack's pride was shattered. He realized his first and second mistakes. We assumed retreat meant fear. We assumed humans were weak, and we celebrated their defeat before it had truly happened. Meanwhile, in the skies over Earth, human cloaked ships struck key orbital stations. Weapon systems were destroyed silently. Alien communications were cut. Supply chains were shattered. Carter's fleet moved like a storm across the galaxy. Every move was calculated. Every strike precise. Every alien response anticipated. On the ground, Mara Green's squads sabotaged alien command centers. Turrets exploded from within. Tanks were disabled before soldiers could react. Alien troops ran in confusion. Humans had turned every victory the aliens thought they had into a trap. And in the midst of chaos, Carter gave the final order. Deploy the main fleet. End this before they recover. From hidden asteroid bases, human capital ships emerged. Massive, sleek, and fully armed. Cloaking technology disabled. Weapons blazing. The Zarkonian Empire watched in horror. Their fleets were falling. Their systems were failing. Their soldiers were panicking. Counterattack shouted, "Retreat! Regroup! Do something!" But it was too late. The humans were not just fighting back. They were rewriting the battle. They were taking the galaxy by storm. Carter watched the battle unfold. Ships moved through asteroid fields, destroying alien cruisers. Ground squads cleared cities, freeing occupied zones. Nanobot networks disabled enemy systems silently, like ghosts. "Today," Carter whispered, "humanity returns. And the galaxy will never forget it." In the alien command room, Counterattack stared at the holographic map. Planets burned. Ships exploded. Systems failed. For the first time, he felt fear. For the first time, he realized humans were not just a species to conquer. They were a force of nature. And as the humans returned, faster, stronger, and smarter than anyone had imagined, the galaxy trembled. The Zarkonian Empire had learned a harsh lesson. Never underestimate humanity. Never assume retreat means defeat. And never celebrate victory too soon. The return had begun. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The galaxy was silent. For years, the Zarkonian Empire had believed humanity was weak. They had conquered cities. They had destroyed fleets. They had laughed at Earth and its people. But now, the laughter had stopped. From deep underground bunkers, humanity had returned, silent, hidden, and stronger than anyone had imagined. Commander Elias Carter stood at the center of the global command hub. Maps of the galaxy glowed on every wall. Every planet, every fleet, every base accounted for. The human fleet had pushed the alien forces back from Earth orbit. Major cities were reclaimed. Alien ships had retreated broken or destroyed. Carter's voice was calm as he addressed his team. Today, humanity has not just survived. We have taught a lesson. Lieutenant Mara Green nodded. We have freed the planet. The aliens have no choice but to surrender. In orbit, the remnants of the Zarkonian fleet were in disarray. Cruisers drifted powerless. Command ships were offline. Communication with their leaders was almost gone. General Korthak stared at the devastation. Pride had once filled his heart. Now, fear and disbelief consumed him. They should have been gone, he whispered. How did this happen? Zaylor, his quiet strategist, approached. They were never gone, sir, Zaylor said softly. They were preparing in the dark. They waited. They learned. They returned stronger than we expected. Korthak clenched his fists, realizing his mistakes. He had assumed retreat meant fear. He had assumed humans were weak. He had assumed victory before the battle was truly over. Every assumption had been wrong. On Earth, humans move with precision. Soldiers, engineers, and pilots worked in unison. Even civilians contributed. Every human had played a role in reclaiming their world. Commander Carter looked out at the stars. They will surrender, he said. But we do not seek revenge. We seek only respect and peace. Deep inside the alien fleet, Korthak called a meeting. Most officers were silent, exhausted, and terrified. Humans, they are stronger than any of us imagined, Korthak admitted. They did not just fight. They planned. They waited. They adapted. And now they've returned. Vrex, once overconfident and mocking, lowered his head. Our arrogance was their weapon, he muttered. They use it against us. Zaylor nodded. They are not just soldiers, he said. They are a force guided by patience, intelligence, and unity. Korthak sighed. What do we do? Carter's voice echoed through the communications channel. End your attacks. Withdraw from Earth orbit. We offer you a chance to surrender peacefully. A tense silence filled the alien fleet. Generals, captains, and soldiers looked at one another. The humans were not celebrating. They were not angry. They were calm. They were prepared. Korthak finally spoke. Very well, we surrender. We withdraw, and we will respect your terms. Carter allowed himself a small nod. History will remember this, he said. Not because we defeated you with weapons, but because we never gave up even when the odds were against us. On the ground, Mara Green's squad secured the last alien strongholds. No unnecessary violence. No mass destruction. Only control and justice. As humans reclaimed their world, citizens emerged from hiding. Children ran through streets. Families reunited. Voices that had been silent for years filled the air again. Carter walked through a reclaimed city. He saw soldiers helping civilians. Engineers restoring power. Children playing in parks that had been abandoned. He stopped at a school and watched as a teacher handed books to students. Knowledge, not weapons, was humanity's greatest tool. Mara Green approached him. Commander, they surrendered. The galaxy will never forget this day. Carter nodded. But today is only the beginning, he said. Humanity has survived war, defeat, and underestimation. Now we must rebuild and prepare for the future. Meanwhile, in orbit, Korthak and his officers prepared to leave Earth space. This is a lesson I will never forget, Korthak said quietly. They were underestimated. They were ridiculed. They were pushed to the edge. And still they rose. Zaylor added, humans never surrender. They do not run. They wait. And when the time comes, they return stronger than anyone could imagine. The galaxy had witnessed something extraordinary. A species that had been considered primitive. A species thought to be defeated. A species underestimated at every turn. And yet, humans had proven. Strength is not always measured in numbers. Power is not always in weapons alone. True victory comes from patience, intelligence, and unity. In hidden laboratories across Earth, Dr. Lena Morgan deactivated the nanobot cores. "The war's over for now," she said softly, "but we are ready if it ever begins again." Carter addressed the world. Humans around the globe listened through broadcasts. "We have faced impossible odds. We have been underestimated and almost destroyed. But humanity has survived, not because we are the strongest, but because we never gave up, because we never stopped learning, and because we never lost hope." For the first time in years, the planet breathed freely. The stars no longer felt hostile. The silence of the universe was not fear, it was respect. Even Korthak, aboard his flagship, could not deny it. "Humans are not the strongest," he admitted to his officers, "but they are unstoppable when united." Carter looked at the horizon. The sun rose over rebuilt cities, shining on people who had survived war, fear, and despair. "Today," he said quietly, "the galaxy has learned the true lesson of humanity. Never underestimate us, because when humans retreat, they are only preparing. And when we return, the universe must remember our name." As the humans celebrated quietly, rebuilding their world, the galaxy slowly began to realize something profound. Strength is forged in adversity. Wisdom grows in silence. Hope never dies, even in the darkest hour. And somewhere in the distant stars, hidden alien fleets took note. Humanity had returned, and their lesson had been written across the galaxy in fire, strategy, and resilience. The lesson of humanity was clear. Victory is not given. Victory is earned. And the greatest victory comes from never giving up, even when everyone else believes you are gone. And with that, the universe changed forever.